That's weird. Doing this in PCSX2 this time because I was getting that weird audio glitch. I remade my ISO from disk, and it's 100% the same, so I don't... I think I probably had the wrong settings last time. Well, let's bring that up, and let's get the music unmuted. One nice thing about this is that because we are... I thought I could change the way that that's pulled up. Because we are on an emulator, it's very easy to get it without any overscan. And I want to just do a... That's not correct. This is gonna severely mess this up, but... because I'm not entirely certain which one's gonna look the best. For downscaling, it probably doesn't matter that much. Most likely the, yeah, I'm not seeing a huge difference between those. And I was messing around with a HD, or not HD, widescreen mod. And it just didn't look as good. Obviously I was able to bring my saves over. They were a bit more difficult than doing the PlayStation saves, because I don't have a very easy way to actually convert the save over. I don't remember exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Hopefully when we go see Hal, we'll get a updated bit of information. Oh, that was where Hal was. Port Marley. There is no way that I would have remembered that. Oh, and I'll need to show off the back of Tristan's jacket sometime. Actually, oh, never mind. we can see it a lot better because of the larger higher res textures. One thing I do like is actually in this screen. Well, not Fritz's eye thing flickering, but Fritz and Aeon are in Zaku's. Tristan's in a GM, so it has a different cockpit. Okay, it doesn't matter which way we go around this lake. I don't remember really if they stay consistent about that. And right now, because we're still at a pretty low level, if we had grabbed those beam picks, I think everybody would be most likely pretty much best off using them. They end up being pretty powerful for quite a while. I don't remember exactly where Fort Marley is. It may have been southwest, and I've already screwed it up. It's always a possibility. Yep, I think this is it. I should have saved. Can't believe Fritz is being the rational one. Music's nice at least. Also, I hate everybody's walk cycle and run cycle, but what walk cycle especially. We can. Oh, no. No. Second we get close to the edge there. Giant robots at sea. Oh no. Actually, giant robots at sea would be terrifying. Much like the way giant, octopus and such at sea are terrifying. Look. This is a weird Gundam RPG. It doesn't have Gundam in the English name, but it's the Japanese name is, I believe, Gundam True Odyssey. And if I bring up the menu real quick, we have GMs and Zakus. Eventually we can get better mechs. It's kind of similar to Dark Cloud. It's not as... well, I'll be flat out. It's not as good, for the most part, as Dark Cloud. Basically, the only reason to play MS Saga is because of the Gundam elements. Also, its difficulty curve is really bad. I don't even want to say inconsistent. It's bad. It has spikes that are very difficult at certain times. And because it is a RPG, oh, now everybody has repair. They're still healing, despite it being mechs. Most of the time, the mechs just feel like a excuse for why leveling up doesn't increase your maximum HP. Favorite suit of all time. I think I'd have to go with the Hyakushiki. My pronunciation of that's awful. I really like the, I'm not as familiar with the newer, series, so. I definitely have not kept up as well as I, used to. And of course, this being, I think, 04, 05, it does not have much past, I think Wing is the last one. I'm not familiar with ArtLink. Yeah, I think website links should be fine. I don't have a bot oops. I don't have a bot running, so. Oh, that's neat looking. Probably should have saved a little bit of money for the tomahawk. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Dark Cloud, both aesthetically and a bit gameplay-wise, was a influence. Oh, that's actually one of the things that does become interesting in this. You need data to make the suits. You also need something else, I can't remember what they're called. Oh, I guess it would be the large E-caps, but... And of course it can't be a Gundam game without having its romance subplots be moving really awkwardly all of the time. Yeah, I kind of get the impression that it was done inexpensively, and probably the most expensive part was the license. I mean, we only have one suit now, but eventually we get other suits. It always ends up just being a pilot, or no, eventually we get 6 pilots. And swapping them out occasionally is important. I think it caps out at 6 pilots. One thing that does make it of course, pretty consistent with Gundam is having inexperienced pilots be orders of magnitude better than most of the trained pilots. I don't remember what's in here. It was not worth it. I think eventually we have access to, it's either an infinite hacking tool or we can purchase hacking tools, but that is a ways away. And acid's, of course, this game's version of poison. At least the enemies that cause acid frequently drop that fluid. It's not always, though. Did I not purchase it? I must have canceled out of that. Weird. And one of the reasons I pretty frequently keep walking before I run is because I'm mentally kind of used to the way Saga Frontier 2 moves still. And they have different buttons for the running. D-pad and square works in this, but it's D-pad and circle in Saga Frontier. Save. Saves are actually really useful in this because they restore your health. I don't know if they clear statuses, and I know they don't restore TP. Looks like we will not find out if they clear statuses. One possible issue with the emulator that I noticed when I was checking it out yesterday to compare to how it worked versus using the game on the PS2 via capture card is that the capture card, a lot of the flickering wasn't super noticeable. With the emulator, a lot of the flickering is a lot worse. And that's actually true for both the PS2 games and the PlayStation games. Well, we're gonna get to see if the thing clears acid. I suspect it doesn't, but... I'd forgotten how ridiculous the shaking was. It does not. Okay. We will need to actually use the acid clear for that. And the item upgrade kit, much like the armor upgrade kit, is really useful for cheaply upgrading the ability of the suits. The GM is going to be the longest lasting of these, so... One of the neat things about the game, though, is that almost every enemy that you run into, you can get their suit. It's just it takes a long time until you have access to things other than your more basic stuff. Ah, that's actually good. And we can actually see the stats combined with the suit stats combined with the pilot stats on the status page. Fortunately, these enemies are using sub-rock guns. Sub-rock guns are terrible. I think they're actually worse than the Zaku machine gun. We may see the stats of it on it if it ends up dropping. That acid sword is both dangerous and annoying, though. That's good for now. And once we finish this area, the GM will not be a Stompy bot anymore, because I will be switching it over to those Dom legs. Legs, for the most part, don't have an impact on damage. They're mostly speed and health. And I believe the GM has the best legs of the current group. And as the bot that's actually doing melee and facing counterattacks, it needs the HP the most. Red normally means that's where the plot forwarding events are. But sometimes it's also just optional boss level enemies. It's tough to tell with this game at times. Fortunately, healing both the techniques and actually going back to town and using the inn's like 30 credits, and we're back up to 1200. Charge does make a lot of the enemies a lot more dangerous. This is no exception. Yeah. Maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe the, I was thinking there was a way to see the combined. And I think we probably want Fritz actually to be moving a little bit faster. Yeah, Fritz is consistently faster than the acid jams. And I think our next move is going to be, next time we get one of those anyway, put it on Aeon. Signal Flare, which I believe is a way to get out. And a small cannon, which we already have one of. Yeah. One of the neat things with some of the weapons is they show up on the mech outside of battle. I vaguely recall there being a way to see the mechs that your other people are piloting. Can't recall it offhand though. I will check the other buttons once we're out of battle. Might be one of the shoulder buttons. since they're not used for anything near as I can remember. Nope. No, that's the map button, which I had forgotten about. Is it putting them in front? That appears to be what it is. Interesting. One nice thing, and one of the reasons why you'll occasionally see my suit change directions radically, is when you go through a screen transition, most of the time, you're, actually, the melee one's the dangerous one. Most of the time, if you keep your analog stick pressed the same direction, your suit will just head forward in the direction that it gets pointed when it gets dropped off in the new zone. Which is weird, but is handy in a lot of the zones where your suit's by default facing directly down whatever hallway you need to go down. This game makes extensive use of hallways. I think actually we're going to go back to that save point for two reasons really. The first one is I want to save after doing all that stuff and getting a level. The other one being, of course, I do want that heal. And I would like to get another level for Aeon. Another level for Aeon might put her faster than the Acid GMs even without getting another mobility upgrade. Speed kit. I don't know what the speed kit does. Oh, I guess it's an in-battle item. Okay, so everybody's level 7. Gonna save, and then I'm going to grab myself a drink, because I just finished mine off. forgot that when I click into the emulator, that seems to capture all inputs. The global mic key does not work then. Also, from playing Saga Frontier 2, I keep wanting to hit triangle to do the quick save. Even though all that would do here is bring up the menu. At least the menu in this is pretty quick. Not quite as quick as Saga Frontier 2, but pretty quick all the same. I'm not 100% certain I want to actually hit this thing with melee. I suspect it's gonna do a lot of damage to somebody if we don't defend, yeah. It's either a defend or a charge. I guessed wrong. This will not be doing the damage it could have. They look pretty sweet though. I think that will even do as much damage as the bazooka. Oh, I could have been using defense hack. That would have shortened that battle probably considerably. I always forget about debuffs. And that Zegok Law is, I believe, fairly good. I'm sure now that I want to move the microphone a little bit, the universal key works. Ah, they're Transformers. is actually impressive missing twice. I do kind of wish they'd gone entirely with on-screen or on-map visible enemies. One of the things I really like with Saga Frontier 2 I mean, I'll be real honest, I can compare almost every game to Saga Frontier 2, and because I like that incomplete, occasionally garbage fire of a game, I will frequently find even much better games wanting. Oh hey, Subrock Gun. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's worse than this. I'm wrong. It does take a lot of speed, or a lot of space though. Even the acid machine gun's actually better than this. Now, does anybody want... Yeah, neither of these is actually better than the arm machine gun. So, since the Subrock Gun is the better of those, it gets put on. And I really wish there was a way to reorder things other than doing that, but I am not aware of any such method. And I think we grabbed a mobility upgrade kit, which is going on probably Aeon. She's not quite faster than the acid GMs yet. Which makes sense, her own reflexes are much worse than Fritz's. Ah, I'm incorrect. But we do have some pretty decent parts to put on once we get back. I could kind of see that this ended in a dead end, so it seemed likely that it was just for an item. Of course, we can stop by the, since we'll be right next to it, stop by that save point to heal again. Also, I'd not thought about it before, but the music in this has some similarities to Sky Odyssey. I know an odd comparison, but both are pretty mediocre games that I enjoy. I enjoy a lot of mediocre games. Mostly mediocre games. I mean, eventually we are going to be piloting stuff that is way more interesting than just the basic GM. This game has a big Gundam arc, and it's actually pretty neat. Even if the Gundams ends up not being all that great. I really wish that they had kept that music going, though. I know there's some chests here, but I can't remember if we can actually get them without starting up the boss fight. I'm hopeful that we can, because I don't want to go all the way through this dungeon again. Fort Marley kinda sucks. Also a good reminder for just how slow this battle system is. We're almost an hour into stream. And we will soon be finishing up a dungeon. A dungeon that we got into, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes into stream? Compare that to yesterday, where I died after like 15 minutes and had a hard lock of my PS2 at the end. Streamed for like an hour and 50 minutes. And lost 20-ish minutes of progress, plus 15. So like a half hour, 40 minutes of progress. Still ended up with a save that was... Still ended up getting through, I don't know, 3 scenarios? 3 text scenarios plus 2 actual dungeon scenarios. And I was lost as hell in the dungeon the entire time. And here is the real problem with acid. Oh, I guess it doesn't show up if you kill the enemy on your turn. Normally on your turn it also causes damage. Now I want to just use the technique acid clear because just in case the boss has acid. Oh, of course that's not a way you can get through. Screw you too, game. Oh, and we are going to need to come back. I remember. You see that chest there at the end? I don't know what it is. But I know that when we beat the boss, we leave. Mm-hmm. And so we're gonna fight our first member of the Dark Alliance in a... You know something? I don't remember the name of any suits.
That sucker's huge! Is this a mobile suit too?
Normally it's considered a mobile armor, but I don't know that MS Saga makes that distinction. Do the other generals also have ridiculously dumb names? Zoc. Actually, I think the Zoc isn't always considered mobile armor. And of course it starts off with being able to do its boost attack. Bosses in this game tend to, and by tend to I mean almost universally, have set patterns. Also, this guy hurts way more than I remember. Mobile armors, one of the nice things about them is that they do not retaliate to melee attacks. Meaning, of course, in these battles we should just be using our strongest attacks. Of course, the boss's one worked when ours failed. This might still kill if it hits Aeon. Why is Aeon made of glass? Of course, Fritz is pretty much made of glass too, so... And I would like to note that is with defense up. there's a shortcut for defend, I just don't remember what it is. And I'm not willing to risk it. How much HP this enemy has. Actually, no, I think doing that with Fritz is the smarter call. Yeah, I was thinking we were getting close. And those level ups provide a decent bit of extra strength. What I really would like is an encounter down ability, but I don't think we get that for a while. And I don't recall it being that effective once we do get it. It also might not be one of these characters. It might be the next character we get, who has the worst outfit. Or at least that's what my memory is telling me. I've not seen it in ages. Oh. I guess I was misremembering. We can go and grab that. Maybe I was previously upset because... Oh, I don't think we can actually use this. Yeah, it's one too long. It's a good weapon, but nobody has 5 vertical spots. That may have been what was upsetting to me at the time. Also, I seem to recall by the time we actually get 5 vertical slots, there are, of course, better weapons. And we have an escape technique and an auto drive technique. Both of which help to negate the expense of getting the heck out of dodge. I believe both of them are on Tristan as well. I'm just double checking real quick. And sometimes you don't have... Yeah, it's a total of 3 TP to get out and then go to a city. And while Tristan is fairly low TP total, He is not so low as to be incapable of casting things and then using escape and teleport. Something which a lot of games don't always provide you the mana or TP or JP or SP or whatever the magic point system is in that game to do. And I wanted to save mainly because I couldn't remember just quite how much it was, and I wanted to be able to use as much cash as possible. Okay, let's do set parts first. This is going to be a pretty large increase in both HP and speed. GM legs are no slouch. They are even better than the Zaku 2 legs. Now, of course, this does mean that we are going to need to change the color on the legs, and I don't think we can actually do real color matching, unfortunately. We don't have something even really that's particularly close. Something I've done before to kind of get it is to match the grays. And so that looks decent. But I tend to kind of prefer just coloring everything. Was it the matte blue? Yeah, the matte blue is already present on the Zaku, so that actually works perfectly fine. And I don't think the matte green works. Yeah, unfortunately. When colors work, it tends to be as secondary colors rather than primaries, which is, you know, it sucks, but c'est la vie. Those don't look too off. Oh, and actually I do have arms and such. Yeah, you can't have a weapon equipped. Now the best weapon we've seen is, best melee weapon we've seen is 40 plus. So the tomahawk, yeah, would be, oh, this needs to be removed so we can see the claw beam. The tomahawk would be a little bit stronger. So the claw is obviously a 30 strength weapon. Its built-in beam is actually pretty capable. It does require us to, if we want the shield equipped, put it on the other arm. But I think it would probably suit something like Aeon Zaku 2 or Fritz's Zaku. Probably the Zaku 2 since it has more armor inherently. A little bit better. For these, we did go armor over speed, which is why we don't have anything wearing the GM armor. And oddly, the shield is actually worse than the Zaku armor for the most part. Part of that is you can't have a shield equipped while you have the GM shield. Or the Zaku shield, not GM shield. This energy capacitor is going to be useful eventually. But right now it's nothing special. And of course, yeah, it's fine. With that upgrade, we're also going to want to present the minor upgrade over here. And we'll need to change some colors again. Right arm to matte blue. And honestly, aside from the grays having been a different color for a tiny bit there, that looked pretty well. I do want to change the equipment to a darker color since... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong item. Yeah, it looks like it is actually the darkest. This looks like the arm would fit in perfectly fine on the regular Zaku. And it looks like this will eventually be an entirely gray mech. And I'm focusing on upgrading our better mechs to start. And focusing on attack first for everybody. Primarily because the other stats tend not to make as big of a difference. HP is of course always useful, but if you're killing everything at the start, it's not a huge deal. And we have some stuff we can sell anyway. Which actually, it mostly all sells pretty well. Obviously, weapons don't sell fantastically. And that always makes me think that you can get... Oh, whoops, I should not have sold the sub-rock. Oh. And the gun cannon is a improvement for the small cannon. The tomahawk is it's a big weapon. It's annoying to make space for. As for that matter, are any of the shields. Gundam Wing's shield is notoriously, notably awful to make room for. And it's a shield that's actually worth using. This one is not. So I think what I want is a beam pick. tomahawk, a gun cannon, and a beam spray gun. Because we have the room for it, I'm dropping the bazooka on him, and I think we're gonna put the gun cannon It looks like there's no way to do this one. And there are eventually abilities that allow you to use a whole bunch of weapons attached to various other points. So eventually you do want to have all sorts of guns and attached guns and shoulder weapons, and even if they're relatively small, just to increase the damage of that boost attack. But I believe that's for specific characters, none of which we have at the moment. Okay. Yeah, there's no real way to, convert that into additional vertical space, is there? Which is what we would need for the beam pick. Like the Zaku 2 here is perfectly fine. Okay. I think we're gonna be best off swapping the Zigak arm. And I know I didn't sell stuff. I also ended up having just enough money to get the stuff I wanted, the minor upgrades for the most part. Oh, Can't swap them. I would need to reload the save. Okay. The problem is I don't think I'm ever going to use the small cannon. That's odd that the heat sword can't cause heat damage. Nobody can... Well, that's not true. Yeah, a minor speed increase. And oddly, that can go with the... Yeah, there's no way to get the cannon here. Fit the cannon here, but yeah, we can fit the bazooka. That will be a minor damage increase when we just start looking to actually do damage. Okay, so as outfitted now, we are actually a fair bit more capable. Case in point being that most of our listed damages were what they were after the pilot stats were added. And I wanted to show off the walking animation with the running animation. I do need to correct that. Running animation with the Dom legs. And this is actually one of the interesting things with the cloth, is it does not take energy to use. Almost everything else does. Also, the tomahawk attack is sweet looking. It's a dang flip. And you might be wondering why. One, why I'm walking back instead of using auto drive. Two, why Eisengrad has that red enemy marker over it now. You might not be wondering that. I'm not going to spoil it beyond what spoiling I just did. Because I'm, you know, a dick. Also, it's nice having everybody actually be able to counter the boost goof for decent damage, respectable damage. Goof data is gonna be real valuable. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty rare. I don't think that by default you're gonna get the 50 required. Huh. I was thinking this is where when stuff happened. I apparently misremember. We do need to go talk to Hal, though. And he is in the same location as he... I just love going through extraneous doors. He's in the same location as he ever was. And he's proud of us. Which makes sense, we beat one of his generals. Oh, this is when we get the goof data. Eh. And a level 1 card key. Now when we go there, we will run into another future party member who also created a robot. But that's not the important thing. Is that future party member isn't important. I was assuming that that little annoying noise was caused by my PS2 being weird. Apparently, I was incorrect. Also, I got worried for a second there. I was thinking that I had left the show cursor thing on the emulator. And what I'm doing now is we ran into something before that we could unlock with a level 1 keycard. We've run into a few things that have said level 1 keycard or something. I don't know how good the Vulcan arm is. I know the Zegok Claw is good. As a offhand, it primarily provides you with that its gun access. These goof spikes are, of course, pretty good. The melee, especially for characters like Tristan. This extra propellant is like a much better version of that capacitor. And I'll show that real quick. Energy capacitor converts offensive power into energy. I believe that's just you start with +1 energy, but it might be more. It might not be that bad if it was per turn energy. And this is the data merchant. He sells GM data, which is useless, Zaku data, which is useless, Zaku 2 data, which is useless, and Zaku 2 special data. Zaku 2 special, that is the red char edition, might be useful. I can't remember if we get one by default or not. If he sold goof data, I would be grinding and selling stuff to pick that up. Because for each, I think it's 10, you get one of each of the upgrades. Actually, I'll just show it. Those mod levels, and if you have 99 of them, you start off with mod level 15 by virtue of having level 5 in each item. And for the vast majority of the mechs, which you're going to want to upgrade all the way eventually anyway, it is orders of magnitude cheaper to upgrade that way. Now, having said that, the goof is still a large enough increase over the GM that it's probably going to be worth using unupgraded. Or with whatever small upgrades we can afford. But, of course, when you can and when you can afford it, it does require both sides. And there are enemies here, so you do want to save on occasion. I think there's enemies here. Not 100% certain. Still not 100% certain. There might not be enemies here. Also, yeah, this is going to have made the money I put into the Zaku one worthless. It happens. Like they said, you get most of the money you put into the suits back when you sell them. A lot of them actually aren't worth selling though, and some of them you can't sell. I don't know what's in this box. Damn it. Oh for 2 on those boxes being worth it. So Aeon was clearly at one point associated with Ladizarth's Dark Alliance, and probably at one point in time wore a really dumb mask like Hal does. Free Zaku 2 special data, which is always useful, provided it's not one of the ones that you get for free by one of your party members coming with it. But yeah, you may have noticed there that I was going straight down that hallway. That is the good thing about this game's dumb movement system. When we start back up, I will need to do my directions manually, and it will not be near as good at going down the hallway in an efficient manner. Fortunately, we will very soon have a good suit again. I wonder what door was unlocked. It couldn't be the door right next to it. Also, I'm kind of surprised they don't make you fight here and destroy the G system. And then go back and see that Marie repaired the other G system. So, as you can tell by the legs if nothing else, we see that a future party member has made a Dom. Oh, we can actually set parts here. Now where he got the 50 data and the E-cap is a mystery, but you know, he's a guy that wears sunglasses in his mobile suit, so clearly something is a bit off with him. Yes, because in a whatever the hell this is called, locked behind a door with a key card given to us by the military. It's clearly going to be associated with Dark Alliance. I mean, maybe, you know, our protagonists are just realizing that Hal is probably associated with the Dark Alliance because of the whole Halvazart being an anagram of Laddie Zarth, but anime games love their dang anagrams. And our next location is going to be that Fort Arid. Honestly, I don't know how big the gap is going to be, so... But, I mean, yeah, we have one of each, so... Yeah, it looks like both of them are just one extra starting energy. Is that enough to do shoot all? Hold up. No. Eventually we're gonna want to, essentially need to, make builds. Yeah, we cleared that out. Sorry about that. That yawn came on unexpectedly. And of course the goof spikes are superior to the Zaku spikes. But the Dom does need the goof does need the Dom legs. If nothing else to keep us moving a little bit better, a little bit more attractively. And we want that because this is strictly a melee suit. Yeah, it's going to be a tiny bit, the tiniest amount worse to start. Oh, and by default we do have that heat rod. Which is good to remember. It is, looks like 40 attack. Now, of course, because of the area, we can't use a lot of guns. It's, the system this uses is kind of neat. It's, you know, guns are horizontal. Okay, so that handgun that this has is actually really powerful. But of course, this goof is awful at ranged combat, so I don't even know that I'm gonna have a real ranged gun on it. Yeah, and there's just not a lot of reason to put things on the GM. Toss a tomahawk on there, and we're pretty much good. On the upside, we will be a lot more capable, melee-wise. Even if we are giving up a bit of ranged ability to do so. Oh yeah, we can't set color here. I seem to recall the goof being something we used for a long time. And no, I don't know why the audio is stuttering somewhat sometimes. So our speed's up a little bit. Our damage is also up a tiny amount from the using a better weapon. And I forgot. Occasionally this happens, where you change the angle of your analog stick slightly. And it still works with following the direction out of the screen transition, which is weird. Also, at some point in time, I apparently bumped up my headphones volume. Aeon is hurt. Hurt plus, actually. Also, I don't know if it's been obvious to people who haven't been paying attention to the mini-map, but it actually has some helpful things that make it a bit easier to get around. I seem to recall this being an awful, awful fight. At least partially because the dang things like to defend. I don't believe they have a huge amount of armor or anything, it's just, or health or anything. It's just, defending enemies don't take a lot of damage. But I guess normally I'm not set up to do this much damage. Maybe I don't normally run into them with the post-suit replacement group. I mean, normally I don't switch over until I can get back to a town. Oh. I do think once we finish setting up and get colors down, this is going to be it. I don't know what the hanger does. Oh, it just allows you to look at the suit. Okay. But we still need to go into the unicorn facility to actually change stuff around, change colors. I think we can match the blue? No, we cannot. We can get close, but it's not metallic like that. And I realize that that's, you know, entirely a fake metallic, but it doesn't have the even pseudo shininess. But it, well, yeah, that looks pretty bad. So, what if we make everything blue? I think that looks pretty decent. And it looks like we'll want to change the equipment as well. Okay, that works. This was already set. This was already set. Excellent. And we can change suit names, but I've never changed the suit name. I am awful at coming up with... Yeah. We just got the goof. We switched its handgun hand over to the GM and gave its legs to the Zakuto. Yeah, unfortunately the heat rod is not as strong as the spear that I have. Also, it uses more energy per turn. But as stated, that's going to be it for me. Thank you for hanging around. And I will be back with more of this Tuesday.